what we do at this part of the show is we introduce our guests live in studio, and right now we have here in studio, we have Rudolf Curve. Welcome.
Hey, Robert. Thanks for having me, man.
I can hear you, and you are loud.
I am loud.
I like that. Loud is okay. I'm loud, too. I mean, yeah, but you don't wear loud shirts. But that's okay. We got that going. All right, Rudolf, you're a singer-songwriter.
I am, yeah.
And from Eugene, but you originally started out in Arizona, and before we get to that, you write some amazing songs, and the Memphis song, if we can talk about that, you wrote, we have on the show here, we've been playing for some time. And let's talk about your music. And you started out in Lake Havasu City.
I did.
As we talked earlier, is the hottest city, well,
hottest,
as far as temperature.
Hottest livable place. Like
Okay.
Death Valley's a little bit hotter, but Lake Havasu City's like got people live there, you know. And
That's right.
I think the record's like 132.
Yeah, so in January, it's not unusual to be out there in the pool. And
It's like shorts year round,
Yeah.
pretty much, for the most part, yeah.
So 6 years ago, you said you came to this area. Let's skip here to now. You moved up here, and tell us about your story here and how you really develop what you're doing in the music, because right now you're just starting to take off and get things going. And as much as you were playing in the Eugene area, you're telling me, and other things, you're doing really well. And your music sounds great. And I know Brian, by the way, Brian, who played with you, he's played with me as well.
Yeah, all right.
And we actually did a show a year ago in January together in McMinnville, and in Silverton. It's really a lot of fun.
Nice.
So anyway, let's talk about your music and what brought you here, and who are your influences?
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So moving to a new place and kind of like relocating, a family of, there's 5 of us, wife and 3 kids, trying to figure out what does that look like, meeting people for the first time. It's like brings you back to like the high school stage,
Sure.
Almost like, hey, how do you introduce yourself to people? So I started going to some open mics. There was an open mic in Eugene specifically that I started going to, and then wound up meeting a whole slew of musicians through that, and making connections and really lifelong friends. After just a little while of that, maybe a year and a half, wound up taking that open mic over, and then from there started all kinds of things. More of like not just playing covers, but trying to write and trying to find my voice as a songwriter and what I have to say, because I didn't really know.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, people are tuning in right now. If you were to describe your genre, your influences, let's go. Who are they?
Yeah, okay.
Is it give us that genre.
So growing up, my folks didn't listen to music at all. I mean, really. I tell people when I play my shows, I had one cassette tape in the house, and it was Creedence Clearwater Chronicle, which is awesome. I thank God that's like the best thing that could be in the house, But my biggest influence probably Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Okay.
I really say that he's the reason why I play music today, because it's just everything about.
But it's interesting when you listen to Tom Petty. He's influenced by Dylan and his phrasing, obviously, and then you can hear other influences in there. So it's kind of like a chain of things that go along.
That does happen, yeah. And even opening up myself more, I'm a huge fan of a guy out of, I think, Austin. His name's David Ramirez. And then moving up here to the Pacific Northwest, I'm a huge Jeffrey Martin fan. He's just so good. And so what happens is, as I start finding out there's other people in this world that maybe have the kind of sound that comes inside, that's coming out of me. Growing up, I listened to a lot of like alternative rock and metal, but then when I would write songs, they would be a lot more tender, and it wouldn't be even something that I would feel like I would listen to in my own car. So why would I write music if wouldn't even bump it in my own car? And to come to find out that there's this genre called Americana, which is kind of like a misfit bunch of guys and gals that we all fit, and it's just music. It's good music, and I feel like I found home in that. It was really interesting trying to find my place. Like, hey, you're going to go play a show, and it's like, well, what are you? And it's like, and you even said that when you saw me play, you're like, gosh, like where is it?
We're around the map.
What is this?
Yes.
What is this?
It's true. But it's interesting, too, that what about the influence of the writing? Okay, there's the style and the genre.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the writing, because, there's types of writing. We all know, there are people who are going to write, subjects is one thing, but the phrasing, I think, as a producer myself, is so critical, because it's going to change how everything rolls. So, and of course, Tom Petty's great with that. We know
Mhm.
about the Sinatra thing with the phrasing,
Mhm.
practically inventing that genre almost, and the way he used his to be good. So what do you think is important to you, and where did you draw that?
Right.
Draw that writing?
So as far as the writing goes, really it's the music that came first for me, and then the writing is just pouring out of me as far as an emotion to the music that I'm playing. So I don't know if I have any real writing heroes other than these new guys that are coming around, because I had this whole, now that I am writing more, I have this more appreciation and my ears are open to listen to what people are saying, when before maybe I wasn't paying attention as much to what the message was coming out of the songwriting. And there's a really good friend of mine in Eugene by the name of Ron Selfridge. He's a fantastic writer. This guy's a monster songwriter, and he's really been helping me a lot with honesty and being a great soundboard. And then he's such a great writer himself. So I feel like I'm really learning from him and from others. It's great. Yeah. So, there's not one particular person, that I can look at their songwriting that I thought, wow,
But what subjects and thoughts influence you? Are they going to be, we know what we definitely know is what blues influences are.
right.
Or are there subjects? Are they topical? Or are they everyday things? What pulls you together for those things?
Right. Yeah. I think, I lean more towards the sad songs, which is interesting to me, because I'm a real happy guy, and, I don't go there, but I feel like maybe playing and writing songs that have to do with real things, real situations, real feelings, helps me kind of sort out my own feelings. I might write a song that has a storyline that might be a small piece of a feeling that I had personally, but no one would know, because it's all wrapped in this story. But then it's also like when you watch a movie, you know what I mean? You're storytelling. You're telling something that's happening. So I think that's kind of the route that I do take. Right now, the songs that I'm writing are more to trying to figure out what's inside of me and what's my voice in saying that.
That's a great segue into doing a song.
Hey,
you know
all right.
that? I really believe that. So let's do one here. This is Rudolf Curve, by the way. If you just tuned in, and this is Pledge Week, so I'm going to sneak in our phone number. If you like what you're hearing and you want to contribute, just give us a call here at the station, 503-990-6101. And right now we're going to hear Rudolf sing a song. What are you going to do for us?
Yeah, so we'll start off with a sad song. How's that?
Oh, sad
Yeah,
song.
sad song, yeah.
Well, tell us about it. Set it up, and let's do it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so this tune is co-written with me and Ron that we were talking about earlier. And so this song is called Tangled. And the idea behind the song is, I came up with the chorus first, and it's really talking about, life is messy. It's there's ups and there's downs, and then it's kind of wrapped into this story that necessarily isn't my story, but a story, and we can identify with the story. So we've all been there at one time or another. So
all right, everybody, if you're listening out there, Rudolf Curve live here on KMUZ's Local Roots.
Here we go. Look at all the pictures on the wall. Back when we thought we had it all. But I didn't see it coming. The tumble and the fool. Forgiving you 1,000 times, even though my walk has turned into a crawl. They say there's no crying in your dream, except when you're floating in between. And my heart just lies there bleeding. You're the only one holding my stream. hang on every word you say, but I refuse to be part of your machine. I don't need your good intentions. Your words fall on deaf ears. Your actions patronizing, manipulating tears. I don't need your affections if it's me you choose. If love always wins, I always seem to lose. Oh, I'm tangled, tangled up in you. The wind and the smile go from your face. And how did we wind up in this place? 'Cause I'm tired of going round and round. How could we fallen so far from grace? And I'm tired of going round and round. Can you tell me when the love went from this place? And I don't need your good intentions. Words fall on deaf ears. Your actions patronizing, manipulating tears. I don't need your affections if it's me you choose. If love always wins, I always seem to lose. Oh, I'm tangled, tangled up in you. The empty of the silence as I call out your name. The burning of the bridge, the flicker of the flame, the fading of the moonlight as it falls across your face, reminds me it's not real, both your touch and your embrace, your touch and your embrace. Oh. I don't need your good intentions. Your words fall on deaf ears. Your actions patronizing, manipulating tears. I don't need your affections if it's me you choose. If love always wins, I always seem to lose. Oh, I'm tangled, I'm tangled, oh, I'm tangled, tangled up in you.
All right, very good. Rudolf Curve. And what was the inspiration, to, you talk about going into these sad songs. Mm-hmm. Why do you think you do that when you're such a happy guy? Because you mentioned that, but kind of give us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, okay. So the original line that I came up with is, if love always wins, how come I always seem to lose?
Okay.
And, I feel like people can feel like that sometimes, it's like, man, I'm doing all the right things, saying all the right things, being all the right things, but yet why am I feeling so much adversity in life? You know what I mean? And I tell my wife laughs at it, and she's like, I said, that's the line that I came up with first. And she said, that's the worst line of the whole song. Like, because it's like, it's tough,
right. Yeah.
And I feel like just because I might have felt that at the time didn't mean that that's what I was identifying with. But I said it. I left it out there. I put it out there. And that's it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Okay. All right, let's talk some more about what you are working on. Now, you've got some songs recording. Where are you, and what? Let's talk about, is it going to be an EP? How many, and when do you expect to have a full-fledged thing ready to go out? And when you do, kind of the expectation, time frame, and what it's going to be about.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so this project is untitled right now, but there's probably about 12 songs that I'm going to put on the record. I messed around with saying, well, let's do 4 and do an EP, but I really want my first project to be this group of songs because they all kind of came out of the same, quill, if you would say. And so I've been recording for a little while. I started the Memphis song and put it out this last year, and then recording all on my own. So like I have my own equipment. And I have this office downtown Eugene that I do recording in. But just recently been talking with some producers because I really want, I feel like I needed help,
sometimes it's an old saying I heard in our business. And it's like, why does a boxer need a manager? Tell him what to do. It's because you're so close.
That's
when
what
you're fighting in the ring, you're too close. It's the same thing with music. If you're too close, there's things you miss.
Right, and then if you're doing all the parts, because I'll play drums and the bass, everything sounds like you. So it's nice to have some diversity and some direction, with that. So there's a guy, I can't say his name because I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but he's a producer, and I really feel real close to going
it's important.
with
That communication's important, and also laying those rules out. You as an artist and each other, you got to decide how far that communication is going to go. If you hire somebody to do a job, they want to do their job, but if you're that communication has to work.
Yeah, no,
so that's good.
You're and it's so personal too.
Yes.
This record for me isn't necessarily a pop record. It's like my voice trying to figure out what I feel and saying it. And so my goal is, by the end of the year, I should have it all ready and out and released. Yeah,
fantastic. So we don't have the title yet, but we want another song. So give us one more tune. We can get you one more here.
Cool. All right.
So what do we got coming up?
Yeah. So I wanted to play live the song that we were showcasing on. And do we got time for me to talk about it just for a few minutes?
Sure, we do.
Yeah? Okay.
We got a little bit of time here. So,
okay. Cool. Yeah. So this is one of the only songs that I tell people what it's about, because when you're a songwriter, you're not supposed to really you let people figure it out for themselves because it means something different to everybody. But I was working in Memphis, Tennessee on a job, and through my business, and I was during the solar eclipse, and there was I was going to Nashville for the very first time. I'm so excited. I'm all by myself. I'm gonna do all this stuff, and I'm sitting in this restaurant. I just went to Sun Studios and took the tour. I just got back from Graceland, and I'm on my way to Nashville, and I get a call that my good friend had passed away. And I'm so bummed at this point. And I just want to kind of get home. I go to Nashville, and I'm listening to the radio, and there's no hotels because it's, the eclipse. It's right in the line. And so in this journey of me trying to get home, I'm listening to this Jason Isbell tune, I Don't Want to Die in a Super 8 motel, and that's what I found. I'm thinking oh, geez, this place is trash. And so, needless to say, I wound up finding a place. I'm getting in the airport to get home, and I'm stuck for 48 hours because I'm just trying to get home to my family. I miss them. I'm bummed. So this song came out in that. Yep.
All right, here we go. You tell us again. The title is When I
Get Home from Memphis. Here we go. So the Mississippi, and I heard the blues on Bill. I drove overnight to Nashville, where that music seems so real. This hotel room is lonely, though the strip is almost through, and I'm counting down the hours till I'm back home to you. When I get home from Memphis, gonna wrap you in my arms, gonna hold you tight and closely, gonna thank my lucky stars. When I get home from Memphis, I won't be blue. When I pull up to our house and love on you, well, I stood in the house of the King, in the studio of sun. I got a seal on my heroes, with it rose to number one. But all this time that I've been wishing that you were sitting here, looking forward to be close again. I've been away too long this year. When I get home from Memphis, gonna wrap you in my arms, gonna hold you tight and closely, I'm gonna thank my lucky stars. When I get home from Memphis, I won't be blue. When I pull up to our house and love on you, when I get home from Memphis, when I get home from Memphis.
That's such a terrific song. It flows very nicely. Did that take a while to get down?
That was one of those magic ones that came out in
Right
one
away.
plane ride.
And partially because of the emotion you were feeling at the
Yeah.
time, and you could just channel it in there somewhere. And I think that's what I could hear in there.
Yeah,
Very well.
it didn't. I didn't have to contend for anything in there. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Mhm.
So this is great. So now that you've had a taste of a few things, and you're out there performing, and you're playing a lot, and you know a lot. I know that feeling. I've been in that place. Are you enjoying it more and more? Is it becoming? Is it still fresh for you?
It is still fresh. I
Good.
mean, there are those nights where everyone's singing and dancing and shouting, but then there's those nights where people are looking at you like, "What are you doing here?"
Right.
But then the shows that are just my shows, I just love playing my songs in front of people and
Yes.
connecting with people and trying to storytell. And then after the shows, making connections with people, sitting down at tables and getting to know people and their story. And that part I love. I love making the connections.
That is what it's all about.
Mhm.
And we made a few here today, I think, too. We've got time. I want you to get us one more in because we are running short of time, but it's important we get you 3 in because I said that and I'm a person of my word.
Oh, yeah,
right?
all right.
And besides, I could listen to this all night. Why not? And glad to have your family here in the studio. Great to have you. And when they're smiling, it makes it really fun. By the way, before we get to the next song, again, this is our Pledge Week, and thank you, Rudolf, for being here. Rudolf Curve, by the way, if you just tuned in, is playing these songs. 503-990-6101. Pledge if you can, and very important so we can have shows like this, bring talented artists, singer-songwriters like Rudolf into our studio. So what are we going to hear this time?
Yeah, so this song is called Arizona because I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
And it's about me going back and being so busy and doing stuff that I'm just losing track of the things that are important. So it was called Picking Up Pieces, but everyone always at the show say play Arizona, so we changed it to Arizona, and it works. So
Very good. Rudolf Curve, here we go.
Here we go. seems just like yesterday when and everything was beautiful, like this could never end. Life blinded up my eyes, I couldn't see that everything that I had thought was not reality. It was the day my world caught fire. What was I even thinking? And how am I gonna figure this out? My heart's weary and it's tired. Should've never gone back to Arizona. Cut to the heart, I'm feeling sad. Still days confused and mad. So how could I just throw it all away? Is there something there left to save? It was the day my world caught fire. And what was I even thinking? And how am I gonna figure this out? My heart's weary and it's tired. Should've never gone back to Arizona. That's not how I'd imagined it to be. This empty feeling taking over me. But now I'm caught up in hope and picking up pieces, still picking up pieces. It was the day my world caught fire. What was I even thinking? How am I gonna figure this out? My heart's weary and it's tired. Should've never gone back to Arizona. To Arizona.
Very good. Rudolf Curve, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Isn't
it.
Fun. This is kind of cool. We don't get to do this very often, but I hope you get more radio appearances down the road. I hope you can come back. When that record comes out, will you come back?
Yes.
And what I want you to do is bring it in here so we can, kind of hang with it and get it going. So that hopefully later this year, you said?
Yeah,
We'll
hopefully,
do that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got a lot to talk about. Anyway, you are listening to KMUZ, Turner, and I'm your host, Robert Richter, for the Local Roots Show. Thank you again, Rudolf Curve, for dropping by the show and being here. And like I said, it's always nice to have people on that I've already seen live. It's good.
Yeah.
And I knew what to expect. It was going to be great. And again, it is Pledge Week. And, one more thing I need to do. Give us your website.
That's what I was just going to ask you.
I'm ahead of you.
The marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can check me out at rudolfkorvmusic.com. That's RUDOLF. KORV as in Victor, music.com, and see where if I'm playing in your area and all the news, all the stuff.
Yeah, we're in the valley here. We're all around,
Yeah.
so people can hear us. So there you go. That's good. So you're close enough. We'll get to you.
Yeah, I make it all the way up through Seattle, up through Washington and
Oh, yeah.
Bend and South and all that stuff.
That's the fun part of our job. That's
Yeah.
good. All right. Thank you so much, Rudolph. We've got 503-990-6101. Call in your pledge. We're going to get back into the music here before too long here. This is new music from Megan Alder, and this is called Over, right here on Local River. Right here on Local River. Right here on Local River. Right here on Local